Hey people, welcome back to MinieStation. Today I'm giving you a quick little review of the EcoTools Fresh and Flawless 5-piece complexion set. Holy shit, that's a mouthful. I got this at Ralph's a few weeks ago, so I've had some time to experiment with all of them and play with them a little bit and see what I think. And I have to say, I'm pretty fucking impressed. This is a $14.99 set, but you get 5 brushes with it, which means that each brush is essentially $3, which is incredibly inexpensive. And they, at least incredibly inexpensive for the quality, because I think these are actually really damn good brushes. So like I said, you have 5 brushes in the set. The first one is considered a flat concealer brush, or that's what EcoTools tells you it should be for. And I guess this is fine for using for blemishes, but honestly I prefer it as a little detail eyeshadow brush. It worked fine for concealing, but such a small brush makes it sort of tedious in my opinion. And actually there is another brush in the set that I much prefer for using for concealer. So this one I've been using as like another little small detailer eyeshadow brush, which I think you really can't have too many eyeshadow brushes. So next one is a buffing concealer brush. I like this because it's an interesting shape. I haven't really seen many brushes that are shaped like this. It's small, it's not super stiff, it definitely has some give to it, and it's slightly tapered on top, just the slightest amount, I guess you could. It's just not flat enough to be flat, which is just, I don't know, this is semantics, but I really like this for blending out eyeshadow, which is what I've been using it for. It says it's for buffing concealer, but I feel like a brush this small and sort of this stiff when used with concealer it moves the concealer around too much for me, and it ends up sort of undoing whatever my regular concealer brush would have done. I think this brush also could be used better in another way. So definitely if you buy this, try this out with your concealer and see if you like it or not. But I really like using this as a blending brush for my eyeshadow. I definitely like it better than my regular blending brushes, which are a little bit longer, they're a lot more rounded, and they're a little too like floppy sometimes. And this really just like gets down into my crease or wherever and blends really quickly and thoroughly, and it just makes my time doing my eyeshadow, especially for more complicated eyeshadow looks, that much quicker. The third one is a precision foundation brush. This I haven't even tried to use for foundation. First of all, I don't use liquid foundation. There are some liquid foundations I want to try, which I'll buy in the future and experiment with and do reviews and demos on and whatnot, but this is way too small for a foundation brush. If you have angular features or tight features and you need this sort of precision to apply your foundation, that's great. This is the brush for you then, definitely try it out. But for me, I much prefer this as a concealer brush around my eyes, so I'll apply my liquid concealer and then I use this to blend it out. The fact that it's so long means that there's a lot more length of brush to spread out the tension over. So it means even if I push down pretty hard, there's not a lot of pressure going into my skin, which is really great for around my eye area. So it means it's not going to be dragging my skin, it's not going to be causing any pressure, and it's not going to mess up my skin around my eyes long term. And it's really gentle with concealer. So unlike the previous 2 brushes, this one doesn't move around my concealer or my highlighter too much, and it smooths it into place without making it slide off or making it disappear altogether. This is definitely the brush I've used the most so far, and this is actually, I was looking for a concealer brush and this wasn't marketed as a concealer brush, but that's pretty much why I bought the kit. The next brush is called a Complexion blending brush, but I've actually been using it for contouring because it's really fluffy, it's pretty dense. One way it's a little bit thin, it's an oblong brush, and then the other way it's a little bit wider. And it has a lot of great control. I can hold the brush really easily. The 2 larger brushes, this being one of them in the set, means I can hold the brush really easily and apply my bronzer, my contour really easily. And it applies it well. I can get a good amount on the brush, and I only need like 1 application of it for it to do the job. So I can put it on with this, and I can also blend it out with this brush too, which is great. And then any excess I put up on my temples or my nose or whatever. And it's small enough for my face. I don't need a really big brush. Now, in terms of this originally being meant to be a blending brush, again, I think it's too small. If I'm blending like a really small area or like a concentrated area, like maybe I'm blending like my blush into my bronzer a little bit, but the regular blending brush I use is round and it's quite a bit bigger than this, and it makes blending so much easier, and this is just It's just too small to blend properly in my opinion. And then the final brush is called a full powder brush. And it's really fucking small to be considered a full powder brush, but even so, I do really like using this to apply my blush if I'm doing just the tiniest amount. I like using this for highlighter. This is good for when I'm on the go and I'm putting a little bit of like setting or like translucent powder on for like blotting up oil. It's really good at just dusting it on. It's super, super soft. In fact, all of the brushes in the set are very soft. It's a little bit less dense than the blending brushes. Or maybe it's just that the blending brush is sort of packed a little bit tighter. But I guess maybe this is the only brush in the set where I'd really use it for what it was made to be used for. And I don't know, I really like it. Again, it's got a small sort of fat handle. It's really easy to hold. But anyway, so all of these brushes, they're multi-purpose. They work very well for whatever I choose to use them for, even though it's not necessarily what they were made to be used for. And I really like them. Some notes about all of the brushes is that, as is the norm with EcoTools, all of the handles of the brushes are made of bamboo and the ferrules are made of recycled aluminum. The thing that makes this set special is that the ferrules have an artist designed pattern on them, and what's really gorgeous about them is that they have, and I'll do a little close up again, they have, I don't know if it's anodized aluminum or if they were, I don't think they were painted because they haven't chipped or anything like that, and it looks like this is the color of the aluminum itself, but they have really gorgeous base colors, and then they have a really pretty contrasting color on top of the base color, and the contrasting color is painted on top, but they're really, really gorgeous. I wish I had full-size brushes that were like this, or maybe full-size brushes where the whole handle looked like this, and maybe the ferrule was like a brushed nickel or something, or maybe bronze or something like that, I don't know. But they're really, really fucking gorgeous. And the fact that they're travel size means that more people are gonna see these, so they're a little bit more of like a, I don't know, a showy travel size set. Some other things to note: the brushes wash really easily, they hold their shape really well, they haven't shed on me at all. I mean, it's only been a few weeks, but considering the fact that these brushes are technically $3 a piece, you know, they're holding up very well, and I don't think that they're gonna shed anytime soon. There are a few little hairs that have been out of place that I was just able to pluck out like you would with most brushes, but I mean, these have done really well, and just as like a little test, they're really sturdy. I'm pulling super hard on them, and I think they're, you know, they're glued on really well. They don't feel like they're about to fall apart. They're really very well made for the price. So yeah, that is my review for the EcoTools Fresh and Flawless 5-piece complexion set. Why are names so long? If you have any questions about something that I didn't touch on in the review, please comment below and let me know. If there's a product that you want me to review and demo and go over next, let me know what it is, because I have some more things that I want to review, but if there's anything that you specifically are hesitant about buying and you want me to spend the money instead, I am happy to do that for you. Give me an excuse to spend all my paycheck on all this stuff. So yeah, I hope everyone had a really good day, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!